Hey lords and ladies, it's your girl Cupcake Kavar again. Sorry if I sound a little weird. I'm fighting off what remains of a head cold. I can't talk for long periods of time. Right now I end up doing coughing fits and I don't sleep very well at night. So that's why I've been kind of missing. Ironically, I didn't get it from the con. You would think that it was, but it actually started a week after the con. And as to why I haven't done anything else outside of after the con, well, it's Petra's fault, really. She gave me a bow and arrow. That was it. That was it. I just been leveling up, and I'm still only at 510 light. I still have a ways to go before I am even remotely raid ready. Regardless, I'll admit I have to be a little more responsible, a little more regular, working on that. So thank you for your patience. And that made me think of something that actually happened during the con. Now, I was reared to be extremely considerate of people in every situation if possible. So an event happened when we were at the Caribou Coffee in Atlanta that was kind of upsetting. Basically, my friend went up to get her hot coffee, and because we were binging My Hero, Boku no Hero Academy for the entire time we were there, so we weren't sleeping much. We were crawling into bed like 3-4 a.m. Thank God Decon knows that, so they don't start anything until like 10:30. It's great when you know your audience. So we were in the line of Caribou, and I got the butterbeer one. I was bad. It had so much sugar in it, but it was so good. And I think she got the same thing. Well, she was going up at the same time as another gentleman who had 2 ice drinks. He was bigger than her, and he pretty much ran into her, causing her to splash herself with said hot coffee and pretty much knock her down. His excuse was to just hold up his drinks and continue walking, saying that, oh, it's not like there was a lot of places to go. Now, she was and somewhat still is recovering from essentially a fractured ankle, and we had it taped and everything, so we were not walking quite as much as we usually do. However, that event pretty much killed the entire rest of the day because we had to hobble back to the hotel room, and she had to stay off her foot for the rest of the day. She was in quite a bit of pain, and it was obvious that she was in pain after he knocked her over. He never once turned around to actually acknowledge the fact that he might have done something wrong. He never once showed any sort of consideration about the fact that she was hurt. Thankfully, we were surrounded by a lot of other geeks and nerds who were actually decent human beings and came back to see if she was okay. Helped her up, helped her clean up, and you know, they really kind of didn't know what to do, and I was stunned. I didn't think anybody was that obnoxious, but I don't know, there's all sorts of people in the world. I'm saying that to say this: I'm not perfect, but I try to acknowledge when I've done somebody wrong or something wrong, and I try to fix it. In that moment, my estimation of him plummeted to 0. Because it's one thing to run into somebody and cause that. It's another thing to never even turn around and not care if that person is hurt at all. Especially in a fandom that should be welcoming. Decon is about being welcoming. Even if you're new, we will gladly teach you. It's okay. If that is how he acts with other people, and he has the Decon lanyard on and everything like that, I frankly don't want them anywhere in Dragon Con. Because at the very least, you could have turned around and made sure she was okay. Or at least say, hey, I'm sorry about that. No sorry, no nothing. He just said, oh, not like there's many places for me to go. And this happens, I mean, this is the same reaching over that happens when you're at any type of coffee shop, Starbucks, whatever. sometimes multiple people get called at the same time, and you just kind of like get your thing, you wait a half second, let the other person go, so on and so forth. Nothing. Half a second wouldn't have cost them anything. Anyway, I digress. I am back. And matter of fact, right now I am working on note-taking for second volume. I do not have the third volume yet, or the fourth. There's so many volumes, it's ridiculous. And you can hear it starting to try to start up here. So, I said all that to say this. Guys, just be considerate. I call it the rules of engagement. It is true as online as it is in person. Be mature. I know it's hard for a lot of people. Sometimes it's hard for me, depending on how petty I'm feeling. But the reality is that I really just don't, the possible consequences, because I don't want to ever willingly be the cause of pain and suffering for somebody else. That's not my intent. And to watch somebody who was okay with just having that as a result, but he was happy because he got his 2 frosty beverages, makes me wonder about what he actually values, which probably isn't much. So, to the guys who helped out, you are the real MVP. To the guy who didn't, I expected more of you, and I expect more of you in the future if you're at a future con. Maybe I should start a series called Con Etiquette, because even outside of con, this is basic human etiquette. But other than that, I had fun. I didn't get out as much as I wanted, simply because I have plantar which basically is the technical way of saying I have weak arches, so I have to tape my feet when I'm walking long distances. Not enough to really stop me. I mean, I do it, but it does make doing some things a little difficult. And the two panels that I really wanted to go to were full because the rooms were too small. But I got to wander around. I got some pretty cool visuals like this one. And the hotel was awesome. Our hotel was a little farther away, but it was a business hotel, so we got free breakfast every morning. And it was pretty quiet, except for when the football games that happened on the same weekend happened. So it wasn't quite so quiet. Yeah. Those people were wandering around. It was special. But I got a lot of great footage in the park. They've renovated the park since the last time I've been there, which was not last year, but the year before. If you are curious and you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link up here somewhere to that video. Pardon the video quality. That was done on an iPod Touch, and it was edited on an iPod Touch and uploaded in the hotel room. I have come a long way, people. But if you are a geek into fandom, I do highly suggest checking out DragonCon or LocalCon. It's just great to be around other people like you, to be able to strike up conversations. Like, I got to the elevator the very first day with a girl who was wearing a sweatshirt that just had symbols on it. I knew what those symbols meant, so I asked her what her main was in Destiny, and she was like, Hunter main. Maybe I'll do a video on that too. I don't know. I'm still thinking. Anyway, I feel a coughing fit coming on. I will leave you with some B-roll that I've done for while I was there, some of the costumes I saw, and I'll talk to you Lord and ladies later. Huh. I didn't get it blended, but we'll see. It's not bad. Kinda like it. It's pleasing.
It's refreshing. It's sweet, but not overly sugar sweet.
A+.